Everything you've learned so far, like skills, connectors, and projects, has only been useful when you actively start a task. A scheduled task is essentially a skill that runs on a cadence. You can set it up once, tell Cowork when to run it, and it handles the work automatically from that point on. There are two ways to set up a scheduled task. You can use the /schedule command inside any Cowork conversation, or you can create one manually from the scheduled tasks page in the sidebar. The /schedule command is the most flexible option. At its simplest, you start a new task, type /schedule, and describe what you want. Something like, summarize my Slack messages every morning at 8 a.m. Claude might ask a few follow-up questions, then it creates a scheduled task, and it's done. You can also use it later in a conversation to capture an entire workflow you just refined, exactly like we did with skills. The other option is the scheduled tasks page. Click scheduled in the sidebar, create a new task, and you'll get this form where you can write out the task name, prompt, and cadence yourself. This is useful if you already know exactly what you want, but you don't get the benefit of a conversation where Claude has seen your full workflow. Cadence options are flexible. You can run something hourly, daily, on weekdays only, or set it to on demand so you can trigger it yourself when you need. Each scheduled task runs its own Cowork session with access to the same connectors, skills, and plugins you've already set up. Let me show you an example. Say you want a morning briefing that triages your inbox before you start work. You've got Gmail connected and a project set up for managing your email. Start by running that task yourself inside that project. Then, just like we did with skills, Cowork works through it. You can review the result, give feedback, and run it again, and refine it until the output matches what you'd actually expect to see every morning. And then, once you're happy with it, type /schedule in the same conversation, and Cowork will create the scheduled task with a full workflow captured. Then you can set that refined workflow to run every morning. And just like with skills, you can continue to improve it over time. There is one thing to be aware of. Scheduled tasks only run while the Claude desktop app is open and your computer is awake. If your laptop is closed or the app isn't running when a task is due, it won't run in the background. Instead, Claude will run it as soon as you open the app back up. If you're planning to rely on scheduled tasks regularly, there's an option in the scheduled tasks settings to keep your computer awake when the lid is closed. You can view and manage scheduled tasks from two places. The scheduled section in the sidebar shows every scheduled task you've created across all of your projects. Or if you're inside a project, you can see a scheduled task panel on the right that shows only the task for that project. You can click into any scheduled task to see which project it belongs to, which folders it has access to, the full instructions, and its run history. Now it's your turn. Think about something you do on a regular cadence. If it's something simple, try starting a new task and typing /schedule and setting it up from there. If it's a more involved workflow, run the full task in a project first. Refine it until you're happy with the output, and then type /schedule to automate it. Or you could go into an existing Cowork conversation that you want to run regularly, and then type /schedule in there to turn it into a scheduled task.